in Indy, we had a kerfuffle, whatever a kerfuffle means. Back in the day, Pat McAfee, well, he went at the Colts. He went at the Colts because they benched AR-15 or 5, whatever the hell he is, Anthony Richardson. And they should have benched Anthony Richardson because Anthony Richardson, as only I pointed out, was a child. He is a child. He has fallen forward. I want you to think about this. Anthony Richardson got hurt in high school, didn't really play full seasons. He fell forward. Full scholarship, starting job, University of Florida, a mecca, a powerhouse. Didn't really play a full season there. Wasn't very good. He fell forward. 4th pick in the draft, Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson wasn't very good in the preseason that he played. Wasn't great in practice. He fell forward. Starting job with the Colts. All the while being a child. All the while not necessarily showing up late, but late by quarterback standards to the building. Not studying like he should. Being the joyful idiot instead of a serious quarterback. Now, you can combine both. Somehow, some way, the Colts tolerated this. And listen to this. To prove to you what a joyful idiot he was, the Colts tolerated it to the point where they were 4-4. And finally, they had enough. Our roster's too good. What are we doing? We're floundering. Joe Flacco gives us a better chance to win. But this came after the famous tap out. Anthony Richardson, as a child, got tired in the game. He got tired. So he wanted to come out, which is cool for a wide receiver, not cool for a quarterback. A lot of people talked about it. A lot of people in the locker room mad about it. The head man, HMFIC, you can look it up. Jimmy Irsay said, this is not who we're going to be. So they benched a child for 2 games of Joe Flacco, who played awful. By all accounts, Richardson unchild himself. All right. Let me tell you what McAfee did. Why is McAfee and the middle linebacker, Zaire Franklin, involved in this? I'll tell you why. McAfee said good because he knew. He knew like I knew. He was a child, should bench him, blah, 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 blah. Couple of weeks after Flacco, McAfee on his show said, I apologize. You can't play Flacco. You got to play this guy, Richardson. Well, Ziggy Smalls, the captain of the Colts, who is currently leading the Colts during the worst period since pre-Peyton Manning, has a big mouth. He has a podcast, you see. Ziggy Smalls with a podcast. He and another nondescript linebacker named E.J. Speed, and they went on their podcast and they ripped Pat McAfee. They ripped Pat McAfee, doing it the passive-aggressive little bitch way. They did it, you go on national TV, and all the stupid stuff that stupid athletes say. See, you got to understand something about middle linebackers in the NFL. They're 2 years away from owning a gym. They're 2 years away from being the assistant strength coach at a high school. That's it. Their voice means nothing, at least to me. It means dick, to quote me. Nothing. Jimbo Bodner, actually, cop in Gary, Indiana, when we used to play poker. I digress. It don't mean nothing. I told Pat Anger, who was leading the NBA and NFL in tackles, he came on my show one time and was kind of a dipstick. I go, you're 2 years away from being an assistant strength coach somewhere. 2 years later, he was an assistant strength coach back at Iowa. I'm never wrong about these things. But Ziggy Smalls got mad. McAfee, of course, fired back. McAfee said, hold the phone, hang on. I am not the dude that talks about and has as a leader guys missing treatment. As the captain, you got guys missing all kinds of stuff, late to meetings. No, this became a feud. Let's go. This is what Ziggy Smalls had to say. How about the mother effers talking crazy on national TV? You are on national TV, and you are screaming about changes that need to be made. Just for the next week, you scream for the opposite change to be made. Well, yeah, so did every fan. Do you understand that's written in pen? Do you understand if we did what you said the first time, you can't just undo it and go do the opposite thing the next time? Do you understand if you fire a bunch of people, you can't just hire them, then put this person? You can't do that. Y'all on national TV. What you say. Oh, and this is where we get educated by some dumbass middle linebacker on the Colts. No, this is where we do. We get educated by a dumbass middle linebacker named Ziggy Smalls. Now, here's where we get educated. Use your platform responsibly. Thank you, dumbass middle linebacker, 2 years away from being the assistant strength coach somewhere. Thank you for the education. Really. No, really. Come on, gang, and pick a side. Whose team is y'all on? Well, okay. All right. McAfee came back and said, "You're mad at me? You guys suck. Your locker room sucks. You're the captain of the worst era of Colts play. You got guys late for meetings. You got guys missing treatment. And you're mad at me?" It was a great response by McAfee. They're not on the side of the fans because they're manipulated and gaslighting them. Y'all say a bunch shh and picking up off a narrative that's building instead of being the actual adult in the room and telling them the real guidance, bro. You want me to read that again so you can understand English? Ziggy Smalls has spoken. Well, when McAfee fires back, every single fan in the Colts world didn't like McAfee. They did. Mad at McAfee. McAfee fired back saying, "Screw you, hope you lose by 20. But Ziggy Smalls almost did lose by 20, 21-6, in arguably the boringest game in the history of football. So Ziggy Smalls, a.k.a. Zaire Franklin, who I really want to like. I really want to like him. I interviewed him when he was like a 7th-round pick out of Syracuse. I interviewed his coach, Dino Babers. I've watched his career. He went from a late draft pick to captain of the team. You want to like the guy until he opens his mouth. And I don't give a damn how you spin it. He is the original shut up and tackle somebody. No, he really is. Shut up and tackle somebody. Bro, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for the education on the media. See, there is no Colt that should have a freaking podcast while they're going down the tubes again. But they do have a chance. They play the 5 worst teams in the league, 4 of them actually. They play the Broncos, who are pretty good. Well, Ziggy caught hell from McAfee, and Ziggy bent the knee. Here's little Ziggy bending the knee to Pat McAfee.
I got a lot of respect for Pat. I understand exactly who he is to the organization, to our city. And quite frankly, I think, maybe I probably didn't handle it the right way going into it. Now, he said some things about me. That is what it is. But it's one band, one sound, man. We all a family. We all want the same thing. I think at the end of the day, Pat wants he wants to what's best for us. He wants us to win. He wants something to cheer about. He wants something to go on the show and scream about in a good way. And that's what I want for him. And at the end of the day, be in the locker room, me being the boots on the ground. I want to give our fans, I want to give our alumni something to be proud of and something to continue to cheer for. So there is no back and forth. There is no feud because at the end of the day, we want the same things.
So damn soft. So damn soft. I mean to tell you. So that's the Colts, though. Colts have a general manager named Chris Ballard. And Chris Ballard didn't want wins, but he wanted wins the right way. He wants the Colts to be about relationships. The coach bending his knee. Him crying about white people. Him crying about AR whatevers. That's our Colts. Ziggy Smalls sitting in there crying. I'm crying. I'm sad. He bend the knee. It's so damn soft. Now, I love McAfee. I do. And I'll defend McAfee. I will. In fact, I wore a McAfee jersey on the Sunday's game because in solidarity with McAfee against all the fans that were mad at McAfee. McAfee told you what I've been telling you about the Colts, an unorganized, soft mess. Guys should never miss treatment. Never. Guys should never be late to meetings. Never. But that's typical Colts. It is. It's typical Colts. When things get tough, they get soft.